Alabama has just added Cedarian Morgan, a 5-star wide receiver out of the state of Alabama. This is monumental. Please drop a thumbs up on this video. We appreciate you guys being here. It's been really amazing to see what Alabama has done in the later part of June and to start off with July. As you know, yesterday you picked up Brian Williams, the day before Owen Cabell, and today you get Cedarian Morgan. And what I feel, and I would like your feedback on this, I feel that he's going to be the absolute crown jewel of this class. And I get it, there's still Tank Jones out there, and I think he's kind of up in the air, but he would definitely be one of the crown jewels in this class. I think that Cedarian Morgan, what he brings to the table is honestly fantastic, and I'm going to show you his highlights in just a second, but let's kind of go over the scouting report real quick. 6'4", 220 pounds. He's absolutely highly polished already. I mean, I honestly feel that he'd be ready to play college football this year. To think that he has another year of high school football is really scary, to be honest. He's a legitimate 5-star. There's no wavering on if he's 4-star, 5-star, whatever it is. Makes contested catches. You'll see this on his highlights. And he's a playmaker. He's one of these acrobatics that can go out and jump up. He's got the size. He's a fiery player. The high school players absolutely have no chance in guarding this guy. Had 1,200 yards and just tons of touchdowns. He's exceptional off the ball. What I like on his film is the coaches use him on the boundary and they'll put him in the slot, which is crazy because he can pretty much do it all. He will be dominant in college football 100%. You look to Alabama's wide receivers and, the rideouts, whatever you want to call them, absolutely fantastic. Because let's look at the tape, and I'll go full screen on this so we can look at him. And again, Cedarian Morgan has just committed to Alabama. Here you see him high point the football. This is a guy who's fighting off two guys right here, goes up, and I don't even know how he caught that, to be honest. Here he is on the outside with this poor high school defensive back. Just throw it up there, let him do his thing. Nice ball for the touchdown. Here he is once again, Cedarian Morgan and keep in mind, 6'4", 220 pounds, running like this. Alabama, this was a must get, and you know what? Alabama beat out schools like Auburn. They beat out Georgia. They beat out Colorado. Here he is in the slot. And it made sense, and it totally makes sense when Cedarian Morgan wants to come to Alabama. I get it. Why wouldn't you want to come and get coached up by Jamarcus Shepard as your wide receiver coach? Why wouldn't you want to have relationships that you can build on with Courtney Morgan and kind of the player development? Why wouldn't you want to come when you know that the quarterbacks on the roster, the younger guys, are Keelan Russell and Austin Mack, right? Look at this play right here. Goes up. How did he catch that? That was crazy. And listen to this. Why would you not want to come here when you have an offensive mind like a Ryan Grubb, right? You look to what Ryan Grubb with the Seahawks, people would be like, oh, well, he didn't run the football. But you know what? He did a damn good job passing the football because Geno Smith had the most yards that he's ever had. And I think what he's going to do now here at Alabama is going to be phenomenal. And once he gets his feet working with the quarterbacks here, which he's already been doing, I think that this offense is going to be so explosive, probably the most explosive offense that we've seen since Steve Sarkisian was here. Here he is at the slot again, gets on that outside. Just an absolute dominant player. I want to ask you inside the comment box as you're watching his highlights, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being, absolutely completely happy that he committed. What's a scale for you? It better be 10. It better be 12 or 20 because this was an absolute must get. We could watch his highlight tape all day long. It never ends, honestly. He look, I have to scrub kind of through it to get to my next points, but he's absolutely phenomenal. You look to what Alabama's doing right now, and this is just the offensive side. I'll talk about the defensive side in a couple days, as you know that Nolan Wilson is going to commit on the 4th. That would be a gigantic pickup. And then after that, Jira Edwards on the 5th. So we'll be barbecuing and celebrating this great country on the 4th. And hopefully getting a hell of a defensive player in Nolan Wilson. And then the day after, Jira Edwards, an elite safety. But let's kind of look at the offense right now. I have committed prospects and predicted to commit to Alabama. So right now you have Jet Thamala, who's a 4-star quarterback, 6'3", 205 pounds. You know the story. He was originally committed to Iowa State and then decided to commit to Alabama. Once he went to Tuscaloosa, he was like, this is it. This is where I want to be. Alabama was always going to take 2 quarterbacks, and it looks like the quarterback that they could be bringing on is Taden Kawa. At least he's been predicted by Steve Whitfong. And look at this guy, 6'6", 235 pounds. The one thing is that we've learned about Kalen DeBoer and what Courtney Morgan want here at Alabama is they want guys with size at quarterback and at wide receiver. They really do. So here's what we got at quarterback. We're still waiting on Taden Cabo. I think he's committing sometime this month. And then at the running back position, you know, I think when you look to crown jewels, like guys who absolutely make this class up, Xavier Crowell is going to be another one of those guys mentioned. I still cannot believe that his highlights are from his sophomore season. We've watched a lot of football. We've watched a lot of highlight tapes. His is as good as any, honestly. He's got speed, power, size. So he reclassified, committed to Alabama, another in-state pickup, legitimate 5-star. And then you got Javari Barnett out of the state of Florida, you know, with Brian Williams committing, and then also Javari Barnett. You got 2 prospects from the state of Florida. And Coach Kalen DeBoer has done a really good job in the state of Georgia, right? You look to on the defensive side. I know we're just talking offensive here, but Xavier Griffin and then Jordan Edmonds out of the state of Georgia, along with Chris Booker as well, an offensive lineman who I'll showcase shortly. The tight end, love it. Max Sutter, 6'6", 230 pounds. If you've had a chance to watch his highlights, they're wonderful. He even plays some quarterback, okay? So I'm not saying he's going to play quarterback here, but he's one hell of an athlete and a great pickup. The number 1 player in the state of Illinois, I believe. And at the wide receiver position, man, look at this, all right? So you got Owen Cabell out of Nashville, Tennessee, 6'3", 200 pounds. I don't care about the star rankings. I really don't. I don't get caught up in that because when I saw him at camp, like from his highlights that I watched, the dude was it. He was absolutely burning them. I think he ran a 4.4 and he's like 10.7 in the 100 meters. So he's an absolute blazer. And then you got Brian Williams, no relation to Hollywood, Ryan Williams, but still that's going to be fun. 6'4", 190 pounds, very smooth off the ball, out of the state of Florida as well. Look at all these guys got to have size. And then today, you get Cedarian Morgan at 6'4", 220 pounds, which is just a wonderful addition. We'll take a look at the offensive line real quick. And you got Sam Utu out of the state of California, 6'5", 330 pounds, and Chris Booker out of Georgia, as I mentioned, at 6'4", 280 pounds. So, I mean, look. Today is a celebration. You look to more guys that could jump on board. As I said, you get Cedarian Morgan in today. Nolan Wilson on commitment watch for the 4th. Jariah Edwards on July 5th. And then we'll take Matt Ponatowski out because it looks like Taden Kawa is going to be the additional quarterback in this class. How are you guys feeling about Alabama right now in terms of the recruiting? Because, look, this was going to be, I think one of the biggest pieces to this class. And you're starting to see Coach Kalen DeBoer work the home state like we thought he would. And he's doing such a great job. Him and Courtney Morgan. This is an A+ class altogether, and we're just getting started. I'm curious to see where Alabama is going to be in the recruiting rankings come like July 10th, right? Are they going to be number 1? Number 2? I mean, look, this is their 4th 4-star of the class. 4th, all right? Nobody else has 3. Think about that. I appreciate you guys being here. Hey, jump on my live. I'm live right now talking about Cedarian Morgan. If you want to jump on live, ask some questions. I appreciate you guys being here. As always, Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. See ya.